Alright, what's up everybody? So, this is pretty much the first part. It's filmed out of succession because I forgot this little part initially. But this will be the first part of basically dedicating my life savings to go drifting for a while. So, not many people know this, but I found it more financially feasible and easier to store by renting a trailer. So I've rented a trailer the entire time. If you notice, if you look back at all the videos, you'll notice that it says Regal Trailer Rentals and all that fun stuff. So I've been doing that, and I've been looking long and hard. I'm just trying to make the right decision on truck trailer combo and what fits my needs personally. I was torn between an F450 and a 20-foot stacker. If we took out the cost, I was just trying to look at like storage and running around town and longevity and all that fun stuff. So the other option was a brand new F-150 in an aluminum trailer and just kind of do 2 trips back and forth. So after about 3 very almost 6-figure offers on trucks to only be denied because they wanted a credit instead of a cash buyer, and ultimately decided to go with a smaller dealership and got them to actually play ball with me, and we were able to come up. I got a great deal on the truck and I've been happy with it, and so then that made me decide on which trailer I'm going to get, and I had one built and picked it up, and I've been using it for about 2 or 3 weeks now. It's got a few little issues, but I think that's probably just common with brand new things and maybe aluminum. But anyway, here we go. So I basically searched long and hard. I didn't know I was gonna get, which this is filmed later, but this is the shop without my sign. I didn't know I was going to get this shop at the time, so I wanted to find something that would fit in my driveway at the HOA neighborhood. And so I kind of looked at all the cars that I particularly run. So I got a 16-foot aluminum trailer. It only weighs 1,500 pounds, maybe. I think it's like 1,508. And yeah, it's actually been a great little trailer. It's got slide-out 6-foot ramps in the back that are hidden in there, of course, but that extra foot really helps get any of the cars up, even the FC. I did have them put a cheap winch on it, and that is for a tilt system, but it works out good. And as you can tell, kind of one of the issues I'm having is all the bolts on the ride home when it's empty. I took the BRZ to get wrapped. On the way home, it kind of bounces pretty bad, and it knocked all the bolts loose in here, and I lost the lid and both remotes. So just gonna go through and do a nut and bolt check on everything, kind of like I would on my drift car. But other than that, it's been a great little trailer. I can just back straight up in my driveway, winch up the loud car, and not have to disrupt the neighbors or anything like that. Car brakes, I can winch it up. It's just been a great little trailer. The truck barely notices it when it's empty. When it's full, I still get about 12 miles to the gallon, so it's not too terribly bad. When it's empty, I get about 15, maybe somewhere around there. And then kind of without the trailer, I get closer to 22. So here is the truck. It is a 21 F-150, single owner, rarely used really. It only has 18,000 miles on it. But anyway, it is the Power Boost, so it is the EcoBoost system basically with a hybrid battery. So it has you won't be able to see it. Random dude riding a lawnmower. There is nothing around here. Anyway, so you won't be able to see it, but in the bell housing, in between the motor and the transmission, is an electric motor, and that is basically run off a battery. So it's kind of a cool little system, even while pulling a trailer. If I'm in the city, basically, or if I'm pulling a trailer and I'm at a red light, and in the neighborhoods, I can do a lot of it on electric motor only. With the trailer, obviously, it has to regenerate more, so it also regenerates on braking and off throttle. So it has a little graph so I can see what I'm doing. But it's actually done pretty good. I'll pop up some stats over here on here. But yeah, so anyway, it's a King Ranch. I wanted to make sure that I was happy, comfortable going down anywhere that I go, now that I'm trying to travel further. And yeah, it's got massage seats, it's got all types of stuff. I have literally been driving back to back to back, so it is an absolute mess in here, but it is beautiful. Like I said, a heated massage seat for, like, for instance, my trip to Alabama. That was 11 hours each way. So, yeah. But anyway, that's kind of the beginning of that, and I'll insert some other clips where I probably look a hair different. But, yeah, like I said, this was the start of my journey. I'm in this truck all cash. I own it outright. Bank doesn't own it. I'm in it so good I could trade it in right now and probably gain a couple $1,000s if I really wanted to do a diesel and a stacker and all that, but it's kind of honestly a pain, and I can't put a stacker here. I'd have to pay for an RV slot. The one I was looking at was a Vinos 10.5 foot, so it was kind of like perfect for what I needed. It wasn't quite 13.6 like a normal square stacker is, but it ended up selling, which was I just took that as a sign. So I'm going to just use and abuse this trailer until I need something more, or until I feasibly need to take 2 or 3 cars. While it is going to be a nice flex, I would have loved to take both cars, especially since they're both going to be wrapped. Ooh. Since they're both going to be wrapped the same, so I'll take them both to Texas Motor Speedway, since that's within 45 minutes of my home. But other than that, there's no real, I'd have to really see a reason to need to take 2 cars, like to Drift Mansion or to Cams or anything like that, other than to kind of be selfish and be able to break one car or just hop back and forth. I've done that a few times, and it's a lot of tires, it's 2 different types of fuel. It's just kind of a pain. So yeah, enough of that rambling on about nonsense. I just kind of wanted to introduce the first 2 of the fleet. So you'll see I'm kind of adding a sim in this, and a little bit later you'll see me pick that up, and that'll conclude kind of like phase 1 of that. This shop was just an added bonus, so that's just going to be more episodes, more series, hopefully to catch on to the algorithm and really make this worthwhile for anyone. I do have 2 shirts already made and ready for production, and I'm about to have a 3rd shirt for a new car reveal that y'all haven't seen yet. I've leaked a couple photos on my Facebook stories, but you won't be able to see them anymore. So yeah, I'll have a t-shirt release for that. We'll do some other, I don't know what kind of, I want to make sure I have good products to sell if I'm even going to start doing that. But I want to make sure that it's an option for anyone to support that they want to, and to have cool merch too. I mean, because the Regenstein's killing it. So yeah, enjoy these next couple of little series of clips put in here, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Then make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day. Good morning. Let me wipe you off a little bit. Yeah. Alright, so I don't know what time it is for you, but it is 4 a.m. for me out here in Texas. I've been waiting for this day for quite a long time. I am headed to Alabama to pick up the Pro car. So yeah, once again on this journey, I've already gotten a truck. We're wheeling the trailer. And to complete the process, we have to go and get the Pro car. So, I'll kind of explain a little bit on the road, but we're basically heading to Alabama. I'm taking a short trip by myself. I'm going to go pick the car up and immediately turn around and come back another 10 hours and get this thing back home. And then I'll do a full rock around and all that stuff tomorrow. So, until then, enjoy this little montage. been this way. It's nice and foggy out here in Arkansas. As you saw, we kind of watched the sunrise. But essentially what I kind of wanted to get on here and let everybody know is that I have fallen in love with drifting, obviously, and so I've not really been able to fully fulfill that little itch, that dream that I've been wanting to do. And so kind of putting some money aside and then collectively using everything else that I have decided to create this series, basically, but to create content to basically go drifting for the next 6 months or so. So in my Lone Star Drift League, there is 2 classes. There is the Street League, the Texas Street Legal, and then there's the Pro-Am class. So typically the Pro-Am class is just everybody with a V8 swap. Not knocking anything. I mean, I have a pretty rowdy car. It's the FC. It's just because of the weight that it is. But needless to say, a lot of the guys are turning up in real Pro-Am cars, so Pro-Am spec. And I've always wanted that. I've always wanted to either dump a bunch of money into the FC and make it, actually be able to perfect it, because right now it's on cut knuckles. It's even on modified cut knuckles. So Taylor Ray made it work great, but it took the bump stop, and so it created it just made it a cut knuckle car, and there is no real adjustments in the rear. And then early in the ownership of that car, I hit a curb at a parking lot event and I bent one of the rear trailing arms, so I am consistently on the passenger side, substantial amount of tow in on the passenger side of the FC that's permanent. I've spent a lot of time getting the camber out of the car to where the tires burn correctly, and up to the state to where it is now. It's very competitive. It's ready to go. I'm putting the Holly in it, as you'll see. As you've probably already seen, I don't quite know where this is going. But I'm also going to dedicate a bunch of time to creating content. So I'm going to be more mindful of getting cameras rolling, just setting up cameras, doing things like that. I've got me a camera coming. I've talked to a few people. Shout out to Drift HQ for helping me out, kind of letting me know what they film with and all that fun stuff. So I am on my way to Alabama. One of my main sponsors basically is Goon Squad, Cody. He runs that, and that's where I get all my parts from. Anytime I need something wild, raise wheels, anything, I get that all from him. They supply me with any kind of parts that I need, any kind of shipping. Anytime I need it, I can hit him up, so therefore they get a little space on my car. And plus, Cody's a real good friend of mine. So, tying into that, Cody had basically got a car that I was looking at almost a year ago. This was a car that popped up on one of the big drift groups for sale, and it was a freshly built car by Forrest Wang. He basically did everything with the cage on it. He's the only one to ever have driven it on a track that I know of, or that there's no videos of it if there was. So anyway, it was built for the 2024 Pro Spec season, and it was going to be a rental, and it was quite the cool little scheme that he had going. Not a scheme, it was quite the little investment strategy that he had going on. But something happened, it did not go through, so the car came for sale for about $100,000, which is a crazy amount of money. Or you could rent it for roughly $10,000 a round with a minimum of 4 rounds. So it is going to pass inspection to the T. It has everything from the full link system all the way down to the drive shaft tube. So it is a fully built Pro Spec car. So anyway, it ended up selling. I didn't get to do the rental program. I obviously wasn't able to purchase a car for $100,000. So I just kind of forgot about that. I ended up looking at Jeff's coilover department E46 that he had in the Pro Spec. It popped up for sale for about 70 grand. And I was really interested in it. I had officially gotten close, I had officially been able to purchase something of that nature, and started kind of really talking with many people. I've never driven a 2JZ, but it's not like it's something that I can't not learn how to drive. I've only been driving for 2.5 years, and kind of waiting. That car was not going to be available until after Utah, and so during that time between it popped up and actually Utah, I had found out that Cody had the GT86 that I was looking at that was up for rental or $100,000 sale price. So kind of talking back and forth, he kind of realized that he is not going to fulfill that dream. He has a 2J E36, I believe. It's a BMW. And yeah, so we kind of started talking back and forth. I told him, here's some parts that I'm going to need. I was looking at doing, Adam had a Super for sale, so I was looking at converting it to a complete sequential, LS7, HGK kit, all that fun stuff. And we started talking, and lo and behold, he basically has the same thing. It is a 2015 Toyota GT86. It's the same as the FRS and the BRZ, but it is basically the same thing. It is a LS7 427 tuned on the Pro ECU Pro G4. Once I get the car, we'll go all over it, but it's basically the same thing. It is an LS swapped car. It has a full quick change, full wise fab front and rear. It is Pro Spec to the T, like I've explained. So we ended up making a deal, and poof, I am here driving 9.5 hours one way, picking up the car, and driving 9.5 hours back. So that's what we're doing, and this is going to kind of complete this process. Not this particular video, but it's probably going to complete this episode. I'm kind of nervous. I don't want to say scared, but I am not overly confident in my skills and all of that. It is a full-blown drift car. So it does still have a T56 Magnum. It's fully built with the aluminum bell housing. So it's similar to what I have. It's not going to be having to learn an H, dog box or a sequential or how all that works. But it is going to be rowdy. I hope it is anyway. I already got some different sizes of Valino R. So as you all know, I'm sponsored by Valino, and I hit them up, told them what I needed. I needed some stickier tires, and we got some different types. So I got some 285Cs, I got some 255Rs, and I got some 285Rs. So this car has 1,000 horsepower axles, carbon fiber drive shaft. So hopefully we don't hurt it. I'm going to start out with higher tire pressures and at cams where the grip is pretty aggressive. So we'll kind of see what that is. It has been ran on Federal 595s, which, if you are a true follower of the page, that is the only tire that has ever broken my Turbo 2 axles, and it's broken it consecutively every time I've run that tire on the rear. So yeah, we'll see what that does. Hopefully this car is built for that. It shows it to be, it looks like it. The beauty of it is it's a clean title, never damaged, all HGK. The downside to that is that it's the FRP, but it's not a downside. It's mainly for me because I wanted to rip the wrap off and expose the carbon Kevlar. That is kind of the dream. So now as I practice getting used to the car, I think as I damage components to it, which inevitably will happen, i.e. the front bumper, rear bumper, possibly the over fenders, I'm just going to replace them with the carbon Kevlar kits, utilizing some of my sponsors and hopefully picking up a few more. And that's what we're gonna do. So thanks for sticking around, and continue this little montage, and we'll see you at the walk around. Sweet home Alabama. Woo-hoo. The guy I got it from, while he's a good friend of mine, it was a little bittersweet for him, so I decided not to mess with filming or busting out the camera and talking about the car in person. Essentially, I got it. I mean, mission accomplished. It is strapped up. I just snatched it up out of his garage. I didn't start it up. I have heard it start on video. It's going to be started tomorrow, but for the neighbors and all that fun stuff, I just decided not to. It also was in the garage, so it didn't get rained on. It's been raining the entire time I got outside of Texas, so it's not ideal. Speaking that, just considering that the car has no windows, it has plexiglass front window. It has a half a plexiglass rear window because it has a rear radiator, so it has to have air coming in off the top. So it's not the most perfect thing for it to be riding on the trailer backwards in the rain. I am going to do a gas fill up and get me something to eat and a couple more energy drinks, and I'm going to check and see and make sure that I don't need to turn this around in the parking lot of a gas station. My main concern really, I mean, the seats will dry out. If I ever went to an event and it rained, I would still go drifting, no problem there. The main problem I have is that the link ECU and everything is tucked up underneath the passenger dash in the footwell, which is great when it's facing forward. So I'm gonna check and make sure probably in about 40 minutes. It is not completely dumping down rain, but I am gonna go and check and make sure that I don't have water puddling up on the dash, which could potentially drip down into the link ECU and stuff like that. I had a tarp, a car cover on the inside, duct taped, and within 2 miles it was blowing out of both passenger windows and causing ruckus on the roads. So I got rid of that whole deal. Yeah, I mean, it's just race car life, right? I guess I can say that now. It's just something that kind of I thought about, but I didn't really plan for. So I am going to do some research into the HGK stuff, probably sooner than later. If I'm going to have to do door cards that include the molding and the plexiglass side mirrors, side windows, then I might as well start placing the order for, new overs. I don't know. I'd really think about that one because HGK is expensive, especially the carbon Kevlar. That is top of the line for them. So yeah, but I've already got to get E90. This car is on E90. We'll go over that after we have a nice little montage. Well, I won't bore you with one. We'll go over that here in just a minute when I get home, get the car washed up. It'll actually be tomorrow. I'm going to drive through the night again, get home, go to bed, get it unloaded in the driveway, and we'll do a full walk around, and then I will try my hand at some nice B-roll montage with the car like all the other YouTubers do. If you haven't already guessed, I'm going to try and really hit this YouTubing thing hard. I need just a minimum of 500 subscribers to kind of get not ad revenue monetized, but they've lowered the threshold. So just having some subscribers, clicking that subscribe button, you don't even have to like it, and you really don't even have to watch it, but if you could just leave it on in the background, it gives me watch hours, and so that really helped your boy out to kind of get ready to hopefully get to 1,000 subscribers and get ad revenue monetized. So I'm trying to kind of stage these out and decent. Hopefully, let me know below, do you like the editing? Do you like the way that this is going? I finally got off the same tracks. I finally got a different car. We're kind of starting to roll into that and go dig a little deeper and mesh, my real life with this fake YouTube life that I have going on. I don't want to say fake, but I'm nobody. But anyway, so I appreciate everyone that stuck it out to here. If you've made it here, leave BRZ in the comments and I'll know you've made it this far. That'll be really cool. That's what we did just get. I know I told you earlier it was a GT86. That's what it was advertised as, but I have the title and it is in fact a 2016 Subaru BRZ. So that is good to know. It came from California, so that matches up with the other stuff. Not that I didn't trust my boy, but it just kind of verifies everything that this is the exact car that I've been looking at, dreaming of, drooling over, and things like that. So we'll get a little more into that when I do a walk around and go from there. But hopefully have a good trip home, and this is not a weird way to end the YouTube channel. We'll see you next time. In a minute.
So tell me about the drivetrain in this thing again.
All right, so this is a Crate LS7. It was built out by Get Nuts Lab, which is Forrest Wang and crew. And contrary to beliefs that everyone, I thought they were like 2JC fanatics, but they build quite a bit of V8s. And so anyway, this was built for a Magnuson supercharger. It was dynoed at one time, about 900 horsepower. Since its exchange in hands, it is now detuned to NA 632 at the wheels. So it is essentially a top-end build Crate 427. It's got the Atomic Air Force. I think it's like 104 out to like 106 or something weird beyond the 103. So I don't know. Anyway, it's got a lot of supporting done into it. It is coupled to a TR6060 that has been built and straight cut gears. It's wonderful shift coming from my struggles with AFC.
Put a shifter bushing in it.
Yeah,
Put a shifter bushing in it. Yeah, I remember.
So yeah, it's we've got all the best kind of the Holley stuff on here. We've got the Holley rails. We've got the Holley power steering. It's got the full fire suppression system, chase bays, brake reservoir delete. It is just kind of all there. As far as suspension goes, it is all on Yellow Speed Racing two-way coilovers, so it's got the dampening on them. It's got ISR calipers. It's got the full Wisefab V1 kit on it, so that includes the hubs, the arms, everything. It has been converted to an IS300 steering rack. Mini starter, rear mounted radiator, Sicky clutch, which is more like a button at this point. So I don't know. From what I've understand, I've kind of been told conflicting things like man up in nice terms, or that the clutch is set a little weird. But I think it's kind of right in between. I think it's just, when you see like Josh McGuire and other guys with this level of build, they're always revving it out, and everyone thinks that they're doing it on purpose. But I'm seeming to think it's to just try to drive at a decent speed around people.
Yeah, so that car has a dog box in it too, and the clutch is a button. So to move it around is a lot of RPM, and getting it to move nicely. I think it's just kind of getting used to it. Obviously, I didn't drive it or nothing. So
yeah, well, and I've driven this. That was the second time I've ever driven this car. So 10-gallon back here, I guess, with 10-gallon radium fuel cell. It's got the surge tank inside. It's actually got 3 pumps in it, and 2 of one's a backup apparently.
Nice.
In case something goes out on track. It was kind of thought of it was basically built for a rental program in the 2024 FD season. Okay. And the funding, it didn't kind of go through. So it's missing like the firewall and a few kind of things that it would take to pass tech, but it's got carbon fiber drive shaft shop axles, obviously the quick change, the Sickies branded, so that was I think it was a Bulldog at that point, down below.
That's what's in that car also, is a Bulldog.
Yeah.
And I had any issues with it.
So, I had this like dream that I would order. I'd call up Winners or Bulldog and get this box of gears, and they were like, no, and they sent me this list of like 20 or so gears, and I was supposed to do the math, and so it's going to take some time for me to drive this and like calculate speed and what gear I'm in. I guess in fourth gear I'll have to figure that out. But it's cool. And then on the outside is a full HGK kit, so it's their GT86 kit. It is not the Kevlar, it's the FRP. But my kind of plan is that as I use these and break these, I'm going to order the Kevlars as replacements. I really like to, I don't know, if we come to that point and I have to replace everything, I might do a new design with the Kevlar showing, because that's the beauty of it. But the hood, roof, and trunk are all real carbon fiber. So, yeah, it's kind of real race car-y. I thought my FC was a race car, but it makes it look like a street car.
Well, I'm excited for you, man.
Yeah,
this car is sick.
I really appreciate it.
I appreciate the opportunity to let me wrap it.
Wouldn't have anyone else do it, really. You did a really good job on the FC, and like I said, at events, y'all treat me like family. So, we're good. What's up, everybody? So, I am here today to go ahead and start out this series, as you can tell, labeled below. But this is basically me dedicating my life savings to go drifting for the next year or so, or whatever, just to kind of set myself up. So, I have concocted a plan and kind of started executing on that plan. So, it would be truck, trailer, pro car, and a few other random things that we need to kind of make this a real dream come true, if you will. So, like I said, I've kind of been drifting, just kind of doing it, but I've been putting away quite a bit of money, and now it's time to do something that I love. It's time for me. My son is 17, about to be 18. I can finally concentrate on things like that. So that's what we do. And to start out this wonderful, wonderful video, we will go over individual items. But to start this out, bam, we have a new to me simulator. Of course, brand new tires. I got those from a buddy. But basically have the full entire setup. So we'll go over that here in a minute, but this is kind of just the start of it. So yeah. All right, so saw me do that. Call me weird, call me cool, whatever. Got that unloaded by myself. It wasn't too bad. It was pretty heavy though. So yeah, we'll make another one as we assemble this, or it might just come onto this. But this is what I purchased. This entire little setup. New Rays, new Valinos. But the main thing is I bought this sim setup. So it has a butt kicker, it has adjustable seat, it has the keyboard flap, the mouse pad, e-brake, gear shifter obviously. It's got a stream deck. It does have a seat with matching rug over here. I've got two different steering wheels, one for basically drifting, and then I have the Formula One style steering wheel as well. This has all the little components, APC, headphones, all that fun stuff. This controls the butt kickers. maybe even the wind, or maybe those are both for the butt kickers, I don't know. Subwoofer, speakers, triple monitor. Everything is Moza basically on here. So I have a couple buddies that prefer some Magic, but just for the price, the ease, everything. I mean, this is ready to go. It was basically unplugged, liquid cooled GeForce RTX 3060. This all lights up. It is liquid cooled. It's a huge learning curve for me. The G, which has been my sim, if you will, the G, instead of spending, you know, $4,000 or $5,000 on a simulator, and really because I don't know what I'm doing, I've always just kind of gone out and just drifted in the G. It takes one set of tires, a couple tanks of gas, and you know, the only thing is you can't really send it too hard because you got to drive home. Then you'll have to trailer it, things like that. So that's what I'm kind of encouraged about this sim. Hopefully I can get it set up to be like this car, and then a new car, which I'm headed to get this weekend, and you will see in a future video. But yeah, it's got the wind simulators. It's just the whole 9 yards. So I'm pretty excited about that. I wanted to go ahead and document this as I unloaded it. I'm still trying to figure out how to make this YouTube thing work. So we'll see how this ties into other videos, other portions of the videos, things like that. We've still got to go over the brand new truck that we're going to use to go across the nation, the plans, the goals, kind of write it all down, everything like that. But yeah, that's it. The new sim. I don't know if that's gonna work or not. I'd like to know if you would like to like this. Do you like this? Do you like that? Oh, do you? Do you? I don't really know. I'll have to kind of think this through. It looks a little tight in this little area right here. So one thing I do have to do is I need to put the screens down on here. That's not quite right, I don't think so. I'll put you at like my helmet. But of course, I really don't know. Maybe it is good, but I feel like in a normal car, the view is right here. And maybe I'm supposed to be lower. Who knows? But enough just rambling on. We'll let you have a good one.